Good morning and welcome to the Farmhouse Dirt. We have a special edition by special request today from one of our loyal followers. We're going to talk about tenant follies, and this is going to be a two-part series because we have so much to talk about when it comes to property management and that side of our real estate business. So we hope you'll enjoy it, and thank you for joining us today. We need to check in a little bit this week because it's been a wacky week here at White Farmhouse.
It has been a wacky week. The weather, number one, kind of just came in like a lion again and was crazy on Wednesday. Maybe not as crazy as they said it was going to be, but definitely still affects people wanting to look at homes and people being able to get to work. That's me.
I think she was playing hooky. It was dry in town by noon, so.
It was, and I live south of Wayne, and it was not dry south of Wayne. Even by 4 o'clock, we got quite a bit more snow, even just 10 miles out, and a lot more wind. And Marie, I said, your family was affected by it as well.
Yes. My son Michael lives on an acreage southwest of Wayne, and he was out of electricity. And so he brought his dog, Charlie, and into town. So it's been kind of a different week for us with a four-legged in the house and an extra person.
And interestingly enough, my husband's family lives down by Scribner. They still don't have power today.
Wow.
And so Tim's dad joke of the night last night was he was going to string all of our power cords from Wayne to Beamer if they could meet us in the middle. And we were going to provide power to their farmsteads. So,
Oh my goodness.
but like I said, dad jokes. So everybody got all hyped up for this storm. It didn't really do much here, but a lot of people have been impacted. So we are really thinking about those who have been without electricity and all of the things that go with that, because you start talking about deep freezes and food storage and things of that nature can be really an expensive fix for people.
Definitely. So, and we're just glad everybody's safe and that we made it through one more winter storm, and it is officially spring now. So hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe that will be it for the snow and it can just be rain. We will see.
I'm crossing my toes too.
Well, we had kind of an interesting morning, so we tried to work really early on and get a bunch of stuff done. Calls were pouring in this morning first thing, and then we went to Chamber Coffee down at American Family Insurance here in Wayne. So welcome Lincoln and your team to the community. They've been open since what, about April, May?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so about 1 year now since they opened up. And then we headed across the street. So for those of you who see our little treats here, Swans is serving mimosas this morning. And we thought that was a great way to kind of cap our morning.
Yes, it's day drinking, but we're being responsible. It has orange juice in it. So.
That's right. Very healthy, good for the heart.
Yes.
We're not driving anywhere.
So thanks, Jen. Classy.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
So.
And go down and check out Swans this weekend for their spring fling. They've got some great specials. They've got some great giveaways for those of you who spend $75 or more. Those girls work awfully hard to bring good retail opportunities to Wayne, and we're glad to have them here.
Yes, and I think Marie might have even found something for the upcoming chamber banquet there.
Yes, and I'm all excited because I got it checked off my list.
So get your hats ready, ladies.
That's right.
It's off to the races.
Yes.
But yeah, to get down to the business of today that I think everybody is kind of waiting on, we're going to talk a little bit about rental stories and things that happen on the crazier side of real estate here at White Farmhouse. So I think we're going to have Becky start us off with the first one.
Yes. We just kind of always talk in our office about different, rental situations that come up. We love our tenants. We love working with them. For some of our tenants, this is their first real time at, adulting and being on their own, renting a place. They might have lived on campus, or they may just be, coming from home, and they've never had to triage some of the items that come up with rentals. So we have a love-hate relationship with that. We love being able to help them, and we sometimes feel like extended parents. Helping them out. Some of the things that we run into are very interesting. So the thing we were talking in our office, we're like, what are some of the things that have stood out? We always joke we're going to write a book, and we're like, what are some of the things we're going to put in the book? And one of the things that has always stood out to me is we had a group of renters a few years ago, and they lived in a house. We affectionately referred to them as the Big Bang Theory guys. For those of you that are familiar with the Big Bang Theory show, super smart, really friendly, super nice tenants, not a lot of street smarts, not a lot of common sense, to be honest with you, just with general things. And so we'd had a few experiences with them, just minor things that we kind of worked through. And then one of them called one day and said, my electricity is out. And we said, okay. And so we kind of, thought about it for a little bit. We need to get an electrician up there or whatever. And I looked over at Trish, and she looked at me and she said, what do you think the odds are that his light bulb went out? And I said, knowing this house and these tenants, that is a possibility. And so rather than call the electrician to go, make a minor thing or something stupid, we thought, okay, we'll run up and check on it first. So Trish went up to the house. And sure enough, when she got back to the office, she told us that this tenant's light bulb had burned out. And he didn't understand how to change a light bulb. Seriously, people, we cannot make this up. So that was something that has always stood out to me, just, in the fact of he probably never had to do it before in his life. And he, when his light wasn't working, he thought it was an electrical problem. And so that's something, we always talk about and joke about and think, oh, wonder what he's doing today. And, hopefully, like I said, we like to try to help some of our tenants, through some of those life situations and teach them something. So, and we were very grateful that we did not have an electrician go up there only to tell us that the light bulb was burned out. So,
and if I may add to that story,
absolutely.
It was same group of tenants, and I'm going to add a disclaimer here because we're not doing this to dog on tenants or to make them feel less or anything like that. We are trying to protect their identities, and it's like Law and Order. We've got real situations that we have created fictional characters for,
yes,
because we want to help others in the future try to do a little bit better. And this is hard. When you're off on your first house and you're living on your own, there's a lot to it that people just don't think about, and especially somebody who's 18, 19 years old who's got the world by the tail. There's a lot to learn. So this same group of tenants, they had to mow their own lawn, and this was kind of their first experience with needing to mow their own lawn. And we did not have a yard shed at the house at the time.
Right.
It was kind of in the works to get that up there for storage and yard equipment and stuff like that. And so we do periodic inspections of the properties just to be on the safe side, make sure, really there's no surprises for us too, because there could be a major water leak or something that some tenants would just completely ignore or not even be aware of in a furnace room or something like that. So I walked into the back door of the house, and there's like 5 or 6 steps up to the kitchen, and then you can go to the basement as well. And I turned and looked up the kitchen steps, and lo and behold, here is their lawnmower sitting in the middle of the kitchen floor. They had just finished mowing the lawn. I mean, there was grass clippings everywhere. There was a gas can. I mean, all of the things that could possibly have gone wrong with that walkthrough didn't happen that day.
Yeah.
So please, tenants, if I may implore you, do not store flammable objects or materials in your homes. I mean, that is probably one of the most scary things that I lay awake thinking about at night, is somebody having a propane tank or a gas can or kerosene, whatever it might be, exploding right in their living room. So that is so key when it comes to tenant housing, and very important.
Yes. Definitely. And we know they were probably just trying to make sure their mower didn't get stolen, and we totally appreciate that. But yeah. And if you ever have any questions or anything about that, feel free to call us. We are here. That's why we're here. We want you to tell us if you have a question or a problem. Don't be like, oh, those white farmhouse people, they're scary. We're not. We're here to help you. And believe me, we've seen it all. We've done it all. Nothing is too stupid. Just ask us.
Yeah, 402-375-HOME. That's 402-375-4663.
And one other funny, and then I'll kind of turn it over to you guys for a little bit, but my other part of my book was going to be the person that called one day and their toilet was plugged. And, we always kind of try to start out easy, again, why call a plumber if, it's something simple? So it was, well, did you, try plunging it? And the tenant literally said to me, what is a plunger? And at that moment, I was pretty speechless. I don't know, figured that most people, college age kids, had at least heard of a plunger, maybe never had to use it before, but had at least heard what it was. This person had no idea what it was. I told them, I'm like, it's the thing, that you use in your toilet. You buy it at the hardware store and then you push on it and it creates, pressure, and sometimes it can unclog the toilet. Not always, but sometimes it works really well. And it can, like I said, avoid an expensive plumbing call. And they just had no idea what a plunger was. And I was kind of at a loss for words on that one for a little bit. So I'm like, maybe we need to add that to our rental application. Do you know what a plunger is?
Minor home maintenance, guys.
Yes. So that was just another one where I was just kind of like, wow, that's, and it's made me, sure that my kids are growing up knowing what this stuff is, that they kind of have some of these basic life things down a little bit for when they're on their own. So,
and I'm just going to add with the plunger problem, because for a while we've seen all kinds of stuff being put in the toilet. Like paper towels. And I know somebody had jewelry on or had something, a picture behind the stool, and I don't know, it got bumped and fell in. So just be conscious what is going in there.
Yes. If you drop something into the toilet, don't just flush it down.
And try to avoid the situation.
There's been some pretty wacky stuff that plungers have fished out of toilets, and, anything from condoms to kids' toys are really, they can really bind up a problem in there. So
wipes, wet wipes, a lot of people flush those now, like the disinfecting wipes and feminine hygiene products. They might say you can flush it, don't flush it. Trust us, do not flush it. And if you think you're going to get away with it, when it does have to get fished out eventually, the plumber can tell us exactly what caused that problem. So it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So
it's not always tree roots.
No, it's not.
Well, Marie, you have a funny too from one of your rentals as well. So
yes, I had a problem. The tenants called me and they had a problem inside their refrigerator. And so it was something with the shelving in the drawers. And so I thought, I can go tackle this one. And I did. It was real simple. Something got bumped and then one of the shelving got down lower, and then it threw off the, what do you call it? Like vegetable trays and stuff. But it just got out of whack. So all I had to do was take it all out and put it back in. And I was so happy because I could figure it out myself.
What was your comment yesterday? If you can troubleshoot it, anybody can troubleshoot it.
Exactly.
There's some things we won't tackle, but
right. But simple things like that. We always try to start simple because sometimes it is something really easy, and there's something wrong with my fridge. That can mean 1,000 different things. And in this case, it was something really easy.
Yes.
So,
and so when you think, property management is such an easy thing to do and so simple, and, you just collect the rent every month and you field a few phone calls here and there and find tenants. There is so much more to it. It is a daily thing. Some days are better than others, but I know on average we get at least tenant troubleshooting call every day of the week, Saturdays and Sundays included. Generally, those would be at midnight. Holidays are at midnight. It's a constant constant things. So, if you're really thinking about buying an investment property too, I think this is a good thing to maybe tune into, because it's going to be more work than maybe you're even thinking when it comes right down to it.
Yeah, it's like a 24/7 job.
Mhm.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yep.
One of the things I like to post about when we're doing rental inspections is furnace filters. As crazy as that sounds, that's the highlight of my day some days.
Glamorous. I mean, we go glam here.
This is highly glamorous, the highly glamorous side of real estate here. And we've pulled furnace filters out of houses that are so distorted and sucked into the furnace system that it's a wonder things continued to work. And we've kind of set up processes here where that's why we do our periodic inspections, because either our maintenance person or ourselves is actually going and replacing those furnace filters quarterly, if not sooner, just to ensure that it's getting done. Because why pay for an $8,000 HVAC system when you can just do some simple maintenance and put a $7 to $10 filter in there every 3 months and save yourself some dollars. So that's the side that we really focus on. But all the time we talk about tenants who maybe occasionally like to indulge in some activities that are maybe perhaps not legal in the state of Nebraska yet, and perhaps cross state lines for spring break and brought some fun things home with them. But those furnace filters really tell the story of that. And even if we walk in and we can't smell it, we can usually tell by how green a furnace filter is by what's happening in that apartment. So it's really interesting. And for those of you who get my drift, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, it's not mold, people.
It's not mold.
And we always joke around and say too, I mean, our rule on our lease is no smoking in your apartment. We're not trying to monitor what you do with your life. We don't care. We just ask to respect the owner's property and not do it in your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
and we can definitely tell if you think you're getting away with it, you're not getting away with it.
Right.
So
and even in today's world of vaping, there are some products out there that really have an odor to them. And if you're in an apartment complex, particularly, people notice that, and it's pretty potent. We've even had some people come in to make rental applications with us.
yes,
Who we can smell certain
on them.
chemicals on.
Mhm.
And so, again, we're not judging you for what your life choices are, but I really question sometimes, should you be driving a car at that point?
Right.
Because it is, a drug, and it does impair your ability to make good decisions. So
Right. And we always joke because Marie has a big sensitivity to certain odors, and also Trisha's son Logan. They are our drug sniffers, if that's what you want to call it. Or even not just that, but even just, sometimes we'll be like, there's a weird smell in there, and we can't quite pinpoint. So a lot of times Marie's like, I'll go check it out. So
we call Logan the DSL. He is our drug sniffing Logan. So I will never forget the day he walked into a unit that was across the street from campus, and he walks in the front door with me because, it's one of those days I was short on time. Kids were with me for appointments, and they've always been really good about respecting people's property and so forth. But he walked in, and the guys were sitting on the couch playing whatever guys play when they're in college,
like
Call of Duty,
Fortnite, Call of Duty,
yep. Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever it might be.
Yep.
And Logan opens the door and he goes, "Mom, it smells like skunks in here." Here these guys are sitting right on the couch, and I, probably could have cut holes through him with my dagger eyes. So, we try to be really mindful of people's life choices and not, like I said, be judgmental. But there is a point where, it really can.
It can affect the apartment. So
Yeah, and if you have sensitivity to that smell, you get instant headaches.
Right.
And they just don't go away for a while.
That's
right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So,
Another thing that really we fight a lot and struggle with are water emergencies. Probably the biggest one, would you guys say, is shower curtains?
Yeah.
Super simple.
Keep your
Yeah.
shower curtain inside the tub, please.
Yes.
That goes for people at home too. I mean, it is easy
It does.
to get a little bit of water out of the tub, but
Mhm.
you know, how many tenants call us and say, "Oh my gosh, there's water all over my bathroom floor," and
Yes.
first thing out of our mouths is your shower curtain in the tub? Is it closed and taped to the walls, or you know,
Or
adhered
have
to the walls?
the magnets that pull it in. And a lot of times it's particularly a problem if you live up above someone else. I mean, if it's in an apartment complex or somewhere where you have an apartment below you, that water's eventually going to go somewhere. And a lot of times it goes down into the apartments below. And that's when we start to have problems, when tenants call and say, you know, my roof is wet, my ceiling in my house is wet. You know, then that can create even bigger issues. So it just sounds like such a simple thing, but yeah, please remember to keep your shower curtain liners in your showers. So
Yes.
yeah.
And
Yep.
and then there's the calls that say, my ceiling is going to collapse if somebody doesn't get here right now. And so that's the point where we usually send a plumber, because
Yes.
we're not going to go troubleshoot this
No.
this water emergency
No.
outside of maybe helping them find the water shut off, which we've kind of taken the time as we're showing units to tell people, here this is where your water shut off is. If you have a major water emergency or a pipe breaks, this is where you go to shut the water off.
Mhm.
And then the plumber will get up there and he'll be like, where?
We can't see it.
You know, it hasn't even left a stain on the ceiling yet, but it's just,
Yeah.
people panic sometimes.
They do. And I understand that if, you know, a lot of their stuff is directly below where they can, or sometimes they can even just hear it, you know, and if they're like, have a lot of, you know, their belongings underneath that or whatever. So yeah, it's just something to really be mindful of. So
Yes.
Yep. And let us know if your, you know, kitchen drain is clogged, or, you know, your shower is clogged and not working right, because that all can lead to much bigger problems. We have a saying in our office, you know, we don't want little things to turn into big things. So, you know, it might seem small to you, and maybe it is, because we have had pictures before where we're like, we can't even tell for sure where the leak is, but, you know, just let us know and let us make that judgment call. So,
And again, we don't want you to feel like it's unsafe to call us, and we don't want you to feel like we're laughing at you, because we're doing this as a kind of a service to help people do things better. So please do call if you have even the most minute problems. Nothing is too stupid that we wouldn't at least address it or go look at it. You know,
right.
sometimes it's a super easy fix, and that's what we love about that side of it. But sometimes you know, we got to cut sheetrock out, and we got to start doing a major overhaul and doing a lot of things and getting contractors involved. So getting ahead of it before it gets really bad is the best method of doing things here.
definitely. Definitely. So,
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add for today?
I don't think so. No, just give us a call. The spring market's picking up. So the girls have been really busy this week. I mean, minus the snowstorm, but, you know, a lot more people calling, and I think thinking about things. Spring's kind of got people active. So
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely. And like I said earlier, this is a 2-part series. So we did not give you all of our best things today.
No.
You're going to have to tune in next week, because we've got some really good stuff that we
For
did
sure.
not talk about
Yes,
today.
this could honestly probably be a 10-part series of just, you know, how to do the rental application, and, you know, tricks and tips, and, you know, going through the process, the leasing process, and all of that.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
Yep.
So we appreciate those special requests coming in. We've got some great things coming up in the coming weeks too. So keep sharing your ideas with us, because we are really having a great time doing this. And it's great to see what impact it's having on the community too. So anything else you want to add, Marie?
No, I think we covered a lot.
I think we did. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
We won't bore you with any more details, but tune in next week for episode 2 of the Farmhouse Dirt, where we talk more about funny rental stories. Welcome home.